Welcome to Fitzy's Fabulous Scrapbooks. I'm Michelle Fitzgerald, aka Fitzy, and I'm an independent advisor for creative memory scrapbooking, and I'm here to help you make your scrapbooks fabulous. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. I hope everybody got to enjoy some wonderful food on Thursday and some nice time with friends and family. We had a very nice day, and now we are full throttle into the holiday season, right? How fun. Today I want to show you something that's in the 101 scrapbooking ideas and sketches, and I want to show it to you using some totally tonal papers. All right. It's kind of a fun one, an interesting one, I will say that for sure. So let me get down to my workspace here and we'll get started. Sorry for this little glare here. So this is the sketchbook that some people were able to earn for the birthday week. It was a promo. Unfortunately, I don't believe I have any more left in stock. But I want to teach you something that I think could be a little bit of a game changer for your scrapbooking and getting things done in a quick and easy manner. Okay. So I'm going to go all the way toward the back of the book. And on page 106, we are going to look at one of these fast album formulas. All right. Now, these formulas, they're not difficult. They're real simple cuts. And what it says here is you could complete a 12 by 12 album with 16 double page spreads with minimal supplies. That's pretty cool when you think about it, right? So if I flip over to the next page, it gives me on one page, there are 3 sketches. And then on the next 2 pages, there's 5 more sketches. So 8 sketches in all of 2-page spreads. And they're very simply done. They're not overly extravagant, yet depending on the papers you use and the embellishments and your photos, they could look very different and help you. I mean, I think this is a very functional way to scrapbook and get things done in a very timely manner. All right. So in addition to that, what I wanted to show you are these totally tonal paper packs. Now, the totally tonal paper packs are just one color paper packs. So for example, this is the totally tonal blue. And of course, we all know how much Michelle loves blue. That's nothing new for Fitzy, right? But the whole pack is blue. And, you know, and I'm going to use this because I think this is a great example. We have one Jewish collection for the Jewish holidays, right? But I know blue is a big color and for some of the Jewish holidays and whatnot. And then I think if you used a totally tonal blue pack in combination, here's the gold shimmer. And you could also use the platinum shimmer as well. I think either one would work really nicely with these blue papers. And now you could come up with some layouts or borders that would work well for some of the Jewish holidays. All right. So that's one way to work it. Maybe you don't want a tropical layout, but you want a beach layout. So I could do my totally tonal blue with my totally tonal beige. So now I have sea and I have sand, right? And what a cool combo. Because let's face it, if you're up here in the Northeast, you don't need tropical. And I mean, I love palm trees. Don't get me wrong. I still love my palm trees. However, if I'm going to the beach on Cape Cod, I don't have palm trees there, unfortunately. I wish I did. So using the totally tonal beige and the totally tonal blue, I could come up with a very beautiful beachy Cape Coddy type layout, right? No big deal. So when you're looking at the totally tonals, really take into consideration what your photos are and what you don't have a collection for, and use it, make it a color theme versus icons and whatnot that you would find in a collection. Okay. And the cool thing, there are 11 different totally tonal packs out there right now. So we have totally tonal blue, totally tonal beige, we have red, avocado, soft pink, pumpkin, tangerine, canary, Kelly green. Oops, I can move these a little bit. Island waters and baby blue. So we have blue, which is more of the darker tones, but then we have baby blue, which is more of the lighter blue colors. All right. So take that into consideration when you're creating your pages and you don't have a collection. Think in terms of making a layout with a color theme, and that might work for you. All right. And these totally tonal packs all have sticker packs that go with them as well. Now I'm just unpacking from a couple of vendor fairs I've done recently. So I don't have the sticker packs handy, but I do have them. And they're great to work with the collection. They give you some words, they give you some icons. So you can definitely make some layouts between the paper packs and the stickers. It's awesome. All right. So let me show you now, getting back to the sketchbook, what I did. And then I'll show you what, well, and then we'll just do it. How's that? So I used, I think it was called Baked with Love. It's a paper pack with a little embellishment pack that was only available to advisors. But I used the fast formula method in the back of that sketchbook and came up with this cute little layout. It's adorable. It's pretty basic, but all the paper is from that particular paper pack. So these two base pieces are from that paper pack, and then my mats are from the paper pack, and all my decorative pieces as well. All right. And the embellishments came from a little embellishment pack that came with it as well. And then I got a little more intricate here. So the same formula, but I used different pieces, and you'll know what I mean once I show you how we do it. Okay. And then I added a border maker cartridge to give it a little oomph, right? It's a slight little thing, but I just feel like it makes a lot of difference. And it's fun to use. And I will say, I was trying to decide what border maker cartridge would really help make some of these pages stand out. And I think a great universal BMC to use would be the double rickrack, because it just, as you punch it, it makes two of these borders, right? So I got this one and this one. I punched them out at the same time. So it was a 2-for-1, right? I punched once and I got two, and it made an adorable little border embellishment that I could add to the page. So think about what papers you're using, what photos you're going to be using, and then think about your BMCs or a border maker cartridge or a border maker punch, something that you think might coordinate well with what you're creating. And if your theme is a little universal, use a punch that's universal. And I think for me, the double rickrack is one of those universal type border maker cartridges. So definitely a fun one to use. All right, so enough of that. Let me go to, where did I just put all those beautiful papers? Oh, here they are. So I am going, because I am getting into Christmas mode, So I thought it would be fun to use this method in the sketchbook. Let me find where I put the sketchbook. My place is a mess here, I'm not gonna lie. I've done so much packing and unpacking from all the vendor fairs and craft fairs I've been doing. So I haven't been able to keep up with the cleaning down here, so that's another one I gotta do, right? Something else to check off my list. All right, so I'm gonna work with today the Totally Tonal Avocado, which is actually a newer pack that just came out recently, and the Totally Tonal Red, because these are my traditional Christmas colors, right? Red and green. Now I was thinking about using the Kelly green, but I really like the way the avocado green looks with the red. It just really seems to work well together. So now in the sketch, the fast formula, it tells you to cut all 12 pieces of the designer paper according to the cutting guide. Well, I don't want this video to be 2 hours long, so I'm not going to cut 12 pieces. So I'll cut about 3 or 4 just to give you the basic idea. And then honestly, it's so simple, you can run with this. So let's do, I always like a good stripe. So let me do a stripe. And then I always like to add something that's got a little white background just for contrast. And then let's get a green in here. And I think this could be a fun one. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to play with these. All right. So we've got 2 red and a green. Let's see how we do with this. So I'm going to just go to my 12-inch trimmer, and I am going to cut 3 pieces according to this cutting guide. And I'll tell you what to do as we go, but it's super simple. So don't get stressed. The only thing you might want to do, depending on what papers you're using, is look at the direction of how things are going on both sides and make sure you're using it in the way you want to use it. So for instance, I have this really bold stripe and I do like it. So for me, I want to make sure I get a piece of, I want to show that whole pattern. So when I cut, I'm going to go through the stripes, not along, like cutting with the stripes. I guess I'm cutting against the stripes is what I'm trying to say in a very long-winded way. So on my first 2 cuts are going to be at the 1-inch mark. So I'm going to take my first sheet and cut 1 and 1. All right. So here are 2 1-inch strips, and I can use either side. All right. Doesn't matter. It's my page. I can do whatever I want with it, right? So now I'm going to go over to the 2-inch mark. And I'm going to cut twice at the 2-inch mark. So there's 1. And here's 2. So now I have 2 2-inch strips. Okay. So I have 2 1-inch strips, 2 2-inch strips. And now my last cut is going to be at the 3-inch mark. And this is actually a 6-inch piece that's left over. So essentially, I'm just cutting it in half. And now I have 2 3-inch strips. So that's 1 sheet done. So now I'm going to go to my next sheet. Now I noticed on this side, it's a bit of an ombre type cut, right? So I'm going from lighter to darker, and I want to get that whole thing in again. So I'm going to cut going against the pattern. So I am going to line up at the 1-inch mark once again and cut one. And again. Oops. And I'm a slow cutter. I don't know if anybody's noticed that already. I do like to take my time and make sure I line things up correctly. So that way, when I go to put everything together, I'm usually pretty happy with it. But it takes me a little longer to do my cutting. I try not to rush through it. I know some people cut very quickly, and that's not me. And there's nothing wrong with cutting quickly. If you're skilled enough to do it, I wish I was, but I'm not. So I take my time and it works for me. All right. So again, I'm going to cut at the 2-inch mark. So now I have my 2-inch strips, my 1-inch strips, and now I'm going to cut at the 3-inch mark, and that will give me 2 3-inch strips, or 3-inch strips in total. All right, and then I'm going to take my last piece, and this is kind of an all over pattern, so I'm not too concerned about it. And this one does have a pattern, and again, I'm going to cut this way. On this one, I don't really think it matters all that much, but again, I'm going to cut at the 1-inch mark. And I'm going to cut again at the 1-inch mark. And I'm not really timing right now, but I don't know. I feel like this is going pretty quickly. Now I'm going to cut at the 2-inch mark. Almost there. Right. And then I'm just going to cut at the 3-inch mark. All right. So now I have 6 3-inch strips. And if I use the reverse side on all of these, I have 6 different patterns. All right. Same thing with my 2-inch strips, 6 in all, and 6 different patterns. And my 1-inch strips, and the same thing. I have 6 in all, and I also have 6 different patterns to work with. All right. So here we go. Now, I just decided I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to take another piece of green. Let me find one that I think would be, I like this one. Now, just to show what you could do, instead of cutting your 1-inch strips, what you could do, so this will be the 4th sheet that I cut. You could come over to your border maker system, or if you have a standalone border punch, make sure you use one that you don't want your border to be too wide to make the system work. So I think the border maker system is best for this method, only because the standalone border punches, the punches tend to be a little wider and it would take up more of your paper. But I'm going to go ahead and punch this border twice. Now, don't be confused. I'm really cutting one border, but when you cut this border, it makes 2. I don't know how else to describe it, but I'm going to put this in the 1-inch pile. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut again. Just in. All right, so there are my borders, and I'm going to keep them with the 1-inch strips. And then let me just get rid of some of this scrappy pieces here. Give me 1 sec, just to clear my desk off a little bit. Right, now I'm going to take out my trimmer. We'll have to clean up these edges just a little bit. So I'll just go right. Right. So on this side, we're just cleaning up those edges. And then we'll go ahead and trim. Right. And now I'm going to do my 2-inch pieces. So the border acts as my 2 1-inch strips, the 2 borders that I cut. All right. And then I'm going to go again to cut 2 inches and 2 inches. And we'll put those with the 2-inch strips. And then we'll cut at 3 inches. And for this one, because I cut the borders, I just want to see how long. So it's going to be a little bit less than 3 inches. So, and it doesn't matter, but what you want to do is make sure that you're cutting it in half. So this is a little more than 5.5 inches left. So let's see. So I think I will do 2. So maybe 2 3/4-ish. We'll see how it goes. That looks about right. We'll try it. I might be a little off, and that's okay. I can just trim it up and make it work. But we'll put these with the 3-inch strips anyway. All right. And I can trim them down if I need to later. All right. So now let's get something we can use as a base. So I'll use this from the avocado. And this is just to simply show you how we make this work when putting it all together. So let me just make some space. And while I'm making space, if you like this video and you like this technique, I hope you will subscribe to this YouTube channel. I love having you come on and check out what I create. Sometimes they're my own original ideas. Sometimes they're ideas that were inspired by other ideas. You just never know. And it's all good, right? It's good creative fun. That's what I like. All right, so here are all my different fun strips. And now I'm just going to look at the different layouts. So letter A that they have on here refers to my 1-inch strips. Letter C refers to my 3-inch strips. And letter B refers to my 2-inch strips. So it's not too confusing. It's pretty simple. And quite frankly, I don't even think I need the letters. I can just go by my 1, 2, and 3-inch strips, and it's pretty simple to follow along. So for the first one, it wants 2 1-inch strips at the top. So let's take my 2 red strips here. All right. And then it wants 2 3-inch strips at the bottom. Now, I could do the same exact paper on the bottom that I have at the top. I'm just going to try to make some room here. Or I could mix it up and do something totally different. So I could, oh, there's just never enough room when you scrap, right? Story of my life. All right, so let's see. I could do, I could do 2 green down here. All right. And then if I really wanted to, so this would be pretty basic, right? But it still makes a great layout. Look at all the space you have for your photos. And it looks like they show 4 4x4 photos on this side, 2 6x4 photos and 1 4x6 vertical photo here. So these would be horizontal and this would be vertical. That 2-page spread is done. Now, if you wanted to get a little more in depth, you could, let's see if we can make this work. Oh, I'm going to do it up here. Hold on. Let's see. I'm going to leave those 2 white. These green. I could come over here and put a little touch of green right here. And look at how it just kind of brings that page together, right? And this is just simply using Totally Tonals and the fast formula layouts in the back of the sketchbook. All right. So that's sketch 1. So now let's look at sketch 2. Sketch 2. So I'm going to take this one off now. And I'm going to put these back in their piles so we don't mix them up. And sketch 2 is looking for 2 3-inch pieces. So let's see what we've got here. We could take some, let's see, let's try this. So here's a 3-inch piece. I think it's supposed to go over here actually. All right. And then, so it has one going across the top on page 1, and it has one going down the side on page 2. Then it says to take a 1-inch strip. So let's check out the 1-inch strips that we have here. And I think this would look fun. So, and the 1-inch strip is going to kind of go down the middle of it. So it's going to go like this. And like this. All right. And then for this one, it's all 6x4 or 4x6 photos. So there's 1 vertical and 2 horizontal. So 1 4x6, 2 6x4s. And over here, it's 2 vertical on the bottom. So 2 4x6 and 1 6x4 and a journaling box. So I just want to show you that. The sketch right here that we're working on. We just did that one first. All right. So again, super simple. And the other thing we could do just to do something fun on it, if you wanted to, we could bring a little green in here and put this on the side, right? Again, just a fun little way to jazz it up, keep it simple, and maybe look a little more Christmassy, right? Because red and green, those are my Christmas colors. All right. So let me just put this on like so. How cute, right? All right. So that's the second layout. Now, the third layout is super simple. you're going to laugh when you see this. So let me just get all this back in their spots. And let's see what we have for layout number 3. Layout number 3 is 2 of the 2-inch strips across the top. So let's play around with it. Let's do some green maybe at the top. So here's 1. And here's 2. And then we need 2 2-inch strips down the bottom. So maybe we could do 1 and 2. All right. And then again, if you really wanted to have things pop a little bit, I'm going to have to flip this because it's the same color. But you could do a little border, right? Here's 1. Here's 2. And I'm not saying that you have to do the same border. Just look at your punches and see what you think would work for what you're trying to create. But I would limit how many I get into just to keep things simple if you're really on a deadline and trying to get something done. Like maybe you're trying to create a gift album before the holidays or something. But look at how cute. I feel like this double rickrack border really dresses it up pretty quickly and simply at the same time. All right. So this is sketch number 3 down here. And again, it's all 6x4 photos or 4x6 photos with, oh, actually, no, I lied. There are 2 4x4 photos. So on the first page, they had 1 4x4, 1 6x4 horizontal, 1 4x6 vertical. And on this page, they had 2 6x4 horizontals. All right. They had 1 4x6 vertical and 1 4x4. But I mean, again, these are simple layouts, but they're getting the job done. All right, so now let's go to our next one. Let me put all my strips back in their piles. All right. And the next one wants 2 2-inch strips and 2 1-inch strips. All right, so 2 2-inch. Oops, I mixed my piles. So let's see. What colors haven't I used yet? Because we'll get into those. Oh, here are the other ones. So let's try my ombre for this one. So I'm going to do my green. So this is my 2-inch strip and my 2-inch strip. And then it wants a 1-inch strip. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do this. Oh, no, I know what I wanted. I wanted my strips. Here we go. So let's go here. And here. How cute is that? All right. And then again, it's all 4x6 or 6x4 photos. Looks like there's 2 verticals and 1 horizontal on this one, and 1 vertical and 2 horizontals on this one. And then again, I could do a couple of different things with my little borders here. I could go this route like I have been, right? And this looks really cute, right? I could also do this. Put another one here and another one here. So what's fun is you have a few options. And then if there's another cartridge that you like better, it might have other options that I'm not showing right now. All right. So that's sketch number 4. And look how easy this all comes together, because then after you get this together, it's just about your photos and what you want to do. All right, so that was sketch 4. So sketch 5, let me take all this off. These are my 2-inch. And just by turning my strips over, I'm using different patterns. So it looks different every time, right? And then if I wanted to, what I could have done too is cut some of these borders out in red as well. I was just trying to save some time so the video isn't 5 hours long. All right, so this next one wants 2 3-inch strips. So let's see if I can do. Right, so this one goes just a little bit away from the top, about a 1/2 inch or so. And then the other one goes a little bit away from the bottom, about a 1/2 inch or so. And then we need a 1-inch strip. So let's do some more red. And this one's just going to kind of do like a little crisscross, right? Just like that. All right. And then what I could do to kind of pop these little dots out is underneath, I could do this. Oops. It's not perfect, but I just want to give you the sense of what it might look like, right? Oops. But the idea behind all of this is just keeping it simple. I think sometimes with all of these different page layout ideas that you see all over the place, we think that our pages need to be extravagant, and they don't. They just need to be functional, right? And you have to be happy with it. That's the bottom line. You have to love what you've created. If you don't love it, then what's the point, right? But see how this, if I took the time to really tack it down and make everything straight, how cute is that, right? Adorable. So, and this also, so this page would be 2 6x4 horizontal photos and 1 4x6 vertical. And then they have here 4 4x4 photos. All right. So that's sketch number 5, which is this 2-page layout here. And now we're moving on to sketch number 6. It's fun. All right, so let's see what we have left. 3 inches. So my next one is I need 2 1-inch strips and 2 3-inch strips. So let's try. We haven't done this 1-inch yet, and I like this pattern. This is like a chevron pattern. It's pretty. So we're going to do one here on the very edge, and we're going to do one over here on the very edge. And then we need 2 3-inch strips. So I think, let's see. What we can do. Nope, that's too much green. I want to bring in some red. I think I might do this one. So we're going to put 1 3-inch strip there, and the other 3-inch strip is going to go here. All right. So again, I could use my little borders to make this pop just a little bit more. Right? Super cute. Okay. And if I wanted to, I could even come over here and add another one here. So now it really frames whatever photos are here. And I could actually put this one here. All right. Now that one doesn't show up quite as well because it's the same green. So you just have to know your colors as you're cutting. But this is just a simple little video to show you the technique and how it works. And I mean, we've gotten through 6 layouts now, and there are 2 left. I don't know how much time we've been doing on this, but I just think this is so fun. And this one, you'll get 3 4x6 photos. So one is 4x6 vertical and 2 6x4 horizontals. And then over here, you'll get 4 4x6 vertical photos. It might be a little tight on this one if you do these extra little borders, because if you look here, these are all right next to each other with no space in between. So if that's the case and you really do want the border, I think I would just cut a little bit off of that 3-inch strip to make that work. And I don't think you'd need to cut much, maybe just like a 1/4 inch or so. All right. So that's layout number 6, and we're going to move right on to layout number 7. So let me get these strips off. And layout number 7. All I need for that one is 4 2-inch strips. So let's see. Let's see what we haven't used a whole lot of. So let's do this one and this one. So the way this is going to work, you're going to leave a little bit of space on the edge, and then you're going to leave a little bit of space between them. And the same thing over here, a little bit of space on the edge and a little bit of space between them. All right. And then again, you could choose to use a border or 2, or you could just skip that altogether if it's not your thing. But the nice thing is you have options, right? I just love that. Okay, so that's what layout number 7 would look like. And so the way they have it, they have 2 3.5-inch squares on here. They place them on the borders on both sides. And then they have 2 6x4 horizontals on this and 2 6x4 horizontals on this page. All right. So it's the sketch up here. Super fun. And now we're on to our last page. Our last 2-page spread. All right. And then what you could do is go through after you've finished doing all 8 layouts once, you could go through and do them again and just use different papers, different photos, obviously, and just create a whole new album, right? It's crazy. All right. So now on this layout, we're going to do 2 1-inch strips, 2 2-inch strips, and 2 3-inch strips. So let's see. Let's do 2. And let's do 2. And let's do 2. All right, so it looks like I would start with the bottom strip, but they all just kind of stack just like that. All right. So you get that whole feel. And then if, again, I was to use my borders, you probably know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to do it anyway. Hold on. Trying not to tear them all because they're all kind of together. But I think I would put one there and one there. And then up here as well. All right. And again, what a cute layout, right? Super cute. And with this, you would have one 6x4 horizontal on both pages. So one here and one here. And then two 4x4 squares on each page, kind of hanging off the edge here. And that's the layout right here. Layout number 8, sketch number 8. All right. So let me tack one of these down so you can see a finished product. How's that? So I'm going to go back. I did number 1 several times. So let me go back to, I think I'll just do, maybe I'll just do the one I have here right now because I think it's adorable actually. So let me just tack it down. So let me take my tape runner. And I'm just going to use, because I'm here on my mat, I'm going to line the bottom edge to the 10-inch mark on my mat. Right. And then the 2-inch will just butt right up against it. Once you get that first piece down, the rest are pretty simple. And then put a border down. And these are just going to make super cute little Christmas pages, right? One. Like I said, if you haven't already done so and you like what you're seeing, please hit that subscribe button. That way you'll get notified every time I have a new video come out. And I do a video pretty much every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time now. I did take last week off to prep for Thanksgiving because I had the whole family come here and I had a lot of cooking to do and a lot of cleaning in my house too. But we won't talk about that because that's not fun. Oops. Let me just fix that a little bit. There we go. And now I'll do the same thing over here. I'm going to line this up at the 2-inch mark on the left and the 10-inch mark on the right. Oopsie. Put it down too quickly. So let me just line that back up again. Now we do have a Facebook group that we've been having a lot of people jump in and join. It's been great. That Facebook group is at the top of my screen that you're looking at right now. It's FRQ Glitz Girls Scrapbooking group. There are a few questions that you would need to answer, but once you answer our questions, we approve you and let you right in. We just like to make sure you're not, a robot or a scammer, any of that crazy stuff that happens these days. Right. Yeah. Oops. And I did place my chevrons a little strategically, so I have them going facing to the left on my left-hand page and facing to the right on my right-hand page. Okay. Just trying to get this all straight. Pretty much lined up. Probably have to make a little adjusting after. I never get things straight when I'm on camera. I think it's the pressure. But at least you get an idea of what it is we're trying to accomplish here, which I think is the most important thing at this point in time. Yeah, one more. And I could have also cut this border out of a color cardstock that would coordinate with this too, and that would work really well. So here is the last layout. And I just think it's super adorable. I just love this whole technique. I think it's quick, simple, direct, to the point, and it helps you get things done quickly. All right. And the nice thing in the sketchbook, not only do they have this for 12 by 12 pages, but they also have it for 8 by 8 and 6 3/4 by 10-inch pages. So if you're not familiar with that, that's what the Happy Album is. So just some great techniques and ideas. And if I had more of these books, I would let you know and sell them, but I think I'm out. If I find more, I will alert everybody and let you know on my next video. All right. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me at fitzy'sfabulousScrapbooks@gmail.com. If you don't already have an advisor, I would love to be yours. You can check out my website at www.creativememories.com/user/Michelle Fitz. I'm going to come back to me now. Let's see, where am I? Here I am. Hi there. All right, so that is it for today. I hope that was helpful. I just felt like when I looked in the back of that book and saw this technique, I'm like, this is great. People need to know about it. I'm not even sure if many people knew it was there for those who even have the book. So take the time to look at it if you have it. And I'll try to do some more stuff with it too. So if you don't have the book, I can let you see what's there and maybe create some stuff with it so you can see how it's done. All right. And then you always have the video to refer back to if you're trying to create something with it. All right. So I think that's all I have for tonight. So I hope once again you had a happy, healthy, safe holiday with your family, and now you're getting into the thick of December almost. It's not quite here yet, but it's coming. All right. So please drop a few comments for me. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Totally Tonals and on the fast formulas in the sketchbook. Let me know your thoughts. I hope you like this video. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.